The world of NASCAR is one that's filled with thrilling races, high-speed action, and dramatic moments that can change the course of a season in an instant. The Southern 500 is one such race, and it has a storied history in the sport. It's a race that every driver dreams of winning. The event is often filled with tension, excitement, and sometimes heartbreak. This year's Southern 500 was no different. The race not only crowned a winner, but also set the stage for the playoffs, determining which drivers would move on to compete for the championship. This year, the race came down to a battle between two drivers who were both in desperate need of a win to secure a spot in the playoffs. Chase Briscoe and Kyle Busch fought hard throughout the race, each knowing that a victory would not only give them a chance at the championship, but also a much-needed morale boost. Briscoe, who drives car number 14 for Stewart-Haas Racing, ultimately came out on top, securing his second career Cup Series win. This victory was significant for many reasons. First, the win was a relief for the hundreds of employees at Stewart-Haas Racing. The team had been struggling all season, and there was a lot of noise surrounding the future of the team. Many employees were unsure of their job security, and this win gave them something to celebrate. Crew Chief Richard Boswell mentioned in the broadcast that the team had been through a lot this season, and this victory was a testament to their hard work and perseverance.
This is a surreal moment for all of us. We've been through a lot at this organization this year, and our kind of mantra for the team has just been, let's control what we can control. And we had a really tough go in the middle of the summer months, and it's when things get tough within the team, it's hard, right? And Chase and I had a good talk this week, and he promised me he was going to bring his best, and I told the guys we were going to bring our best, and that's what everybody did. So just super proud of them.
Second, the win was special for Briscoe's family. Briscoe's wife is expecting twins, and this victory was a moment of joy for the entire family. It was an example that despite the challenges of the season, there are still moments of happiness and triumph. Briscoe, who is a longtime Tony Stewart fan, grew up dreaming of driving for Stewart. To not only drive the car that Stewart won the 2011 Cup Series championship in, but also to take that car to victory lane was a dream come true for Briscoe. This win was a moment of validation for Briscoe, proving that he has the talent and determination to compete at the highest level of the sport. Third, the victory was a significant moment for the history of the sport. The Southern 500 is one of NASCAR's crown jewel races, and winning it is a big deal. Briscoe, who is still a relatively young driver, understood the importance of this race. He knew that winning at Darlington was not just about securing a playoff spot. It was about etching his name into the history books. Finally, this win was a big deal for Briscoe as he prepares to leave Ford for Joe Gibbs Racing next season. The announcement of Briscoe's move to Joe Gibbs Racing earlier this summer raised many eyebrows around the sport. Some people questioned the decision, given that Briscoe's only Cup win before this one came over 2 years ago at Phoenix Raceway. However, Briscoe's victory at Darlington proved that he has the talent to succeed at the highest level. The win showed that Joe Gibbs Racing made the right choice in bringing Briscoe on board. It also showed that Briscoe is more than capable of handling the pressure that comes with driving for one of NASCAR's top teams. The Southern 500 wasn't just about Briscoe, though. The race also set the stage for the playoffs, determining which 16 drivers would have a chance to compete for the championship. The playoff field is now set, and there are many intriguing storylines to watch as the season progresses. Kyle Larson, who has had a phenomenal season, is the #1 seed heading into the playoffs. Larson has won the most races so far this year and has been one of the most consistent drivers on the track. He ran a great race at Darlington, leading well over 200 laps and sweeping the stages. However, he just didn't have the speed to keep up with Briscoe in the closing laps. Despite missing out on the win, Larson heads into the playoffs as one of the favorites to win the championship. Another driver to watch in the playoffs is Tyler Reddick, who won the regular season championship by just 1 point over Larson. Reddick has had a strong season, winning 2 races and consistently finishing near the front. Winning the regular season championship gives Reddick a boost heading into the playoffs, as it comes with 15 playoff points. Reddick has proven that he has the speed and consistency to be a serious contender for the championship, and he'll be a driver to watch in the coming weeks. Martin Truex Jr. is another driver who'll be looking to make a deep run in the playoffs. Truex had a rough night at Darlington, crashing out on lap 2 after an over-aggressive move. It was a disappointing result for Truex, who has struggled in recent weeks. Since the start of June, Truex has only 2 top 10s and an average finish of 24.8 during that span. It seems like he is mentally checked out, but if he can refocus for the playoffs, he has the talent to make a deep run. Truex is a past champion and drives for Joe Gibbs Racing, one of the top teams in the sport. If he can get back to his best, he could be a serious threat in the playoffs. One of the biggest surprises of the season has been the performance of RFK Racing. Last season, the team took a huge step forward, with Chris Buescher winning 3 races and both cars making the playoffs. However, this season has been a different story. RFK Racing has taken a step back, and Buescher failed to make the playoffs this year. The team has struggled to find the speed and consistency that they had last season, and it's disappointing to see them take a step back after such a promising year in 2023. However, Brad Keselowski, who finally broke through and got a win at Darlington earlier this year, will be representing the team in the playoffs. It will be interesting to see if RFK Racing can bounce back next season and return to the form that they showed in 2023. Another team that has been disappointing this season is 23XI Racing. Bubba Wallace, who drives a number 23 car, once again missed the playoffs this year. This is the 4th season in a row that Wallace has failed to make the playoffs, and it's clear that the team needs to make some changes. Wallace is a talented driver, but the team has struggled to find the consistency needed to compete at the highest level. Wallace's teammate, Tyler Reddick, won the regular season championship this year, highlighting the gap in performance between the 2 cars. One of the biggest disappointments of the season has been Ross Chastain in Trackhouse Racing. Chastain, who finished 2nd in the championship last year, has had a rough season. Trackhouse Racing has struggled to find speed, and Chastain has had his fair share of bad luck. Chastain had a top 10 run going at Michigan, but he got spun in overtime. He led 33 laps at Texas, but he either spun himself or got spun on the last lap. He also threw away a potential win at Pocono when he spun out all by himself and crashed. These mistakes have cost Chastain dearly, and he failed to make the playoffs this year. It's a disappointing result for a team that has had high expectations coming into the season. Trackhouse Racing has a lot of work to do if they want to get back to the form that saw them competing for a championship last year. As we head into the playoffs, there are many intriguing storylines to watch. The 16-driver playoff field is set, and there are several drivers who have the potential to make a deep run. Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, and Martin Truex Jr. are all serious contenders, but there are also some dark horses who could surprise people. Chase Briscoe's win at Darlington showed that anything can happen in NASCAR, and it's clear that the playoffs will be full of excitement and drama. Now, before you leave, just make sure to give this video a like and also smash that subscribe button for more such content in the future. Until then, keep exploring.